Hey everyone, welcome to the first week of UFC Summary. This week we're going to be talking about recent UFC news. First of all, Ilia versus Charles confirmed June 29th. Everyone's been going kind of crazy about this one. It seems as if everyone feels Ilia's the clear favorite, especially after knocking out Volk and Max Holloway. My Twitter thread's been full with people just saying he's going to knock out three fan favorites in a row. And to be honest, I kind of have to go with it, although I'd love to see Charles win the belt back, and that would be really cool to see. I just don't really see it happening. I feel like even if Charles invites Ilia to the floor, onto the ground, Ilia would take that opportunity, and I feel like he's probably going to try and submit him. From the way that I've seen Ilia talk in podcasts and etc. and like press conferences, he wants to submit the best wrestlers and the best grapplers. He said he was going to submit Islam with a Darce, I'm pretty sure, or he was going to submit him. I would assume he'd want to do it with a Darce since that's Islam's favorite choke. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that he wants to also submit Charles. That's a very dangerous sort of game you'd want to play, especially with someone as skilled on the ground as Charles Oliveira. But honestly, I think his wrestling, although we haven't got to see much of it in recent fights, it's probably a level or two above Charles, and we haven't really seen his grappling in recent fights either. He's made more of a point to knock out people such as Max Holloway and Volk, obviously, but especially with Max Holloway, he was going there trying to knock him out because everyone said he had the best chin ever in the UFC and that he was the best boxer in the UFC, so he took that as a personal sort of challenge. So I don't know how that fight really plays out on the ground, at least. I have no doubt that Ilia has the capability to knock him out. I don't know what Charles Oliveira's approach is going to be. His camp's going to have to really look at Ilia's last two fights and find a way. I really don't see Charles winning this fight unless Ilia is trying to force a submission on the ground, and Charles, obviously, he's probably one of the most skilled BJJ artists in the UFC ever, for sure. And yeah, that way I see Charles winning. Like, there's a chance that way. Otherwise, there's not really a chance. Also, major news, because of this fight has only been announced because Bilal lost the belt against JDM, and Islam Makhachev is moving up, trying to be a double champ. Unfortunately, he won't be able to hold the belt simultaneously, as that's what the Ilia versus Charles fight is for. It's for the lightweight belt. So Islam's going to move up and try and get the welterweight, which he probably will, let's be honest. Islam's probably the best fighter in the world, probably by a mile, in my opinion. I think second is probably, pound for pound, it's probably Ilia Topuria, which is unfortunate because that's the fight everyone wanted to see. And to be honest, a lot of people have been complaining, and I completely agree with this complaint about how Dana is showing some sort of favorism to Jon Jones as he's making Islam vacate the belt in order to just fight in the weight class above, whereas he didn't make Volk, he's not making Jon Jones drop the belt, and there's not really been much said on the Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall fight. So it's a bit of favorism on Dana White's end, but I don't know, not really anything new. Hopefully that fight gets finalized soon. I feel like these are the two biggest super fights possible, Islam and Ilia, which obviously is not really happening as of right now, unless Islam would beat JDM, which he probably will if we're being honest, and then maybe he goes back down, but we've never really seen someone go back down. But if he goes back down to fight Ilia or Charles for a second time and regain that belt. But yeah, we don't really know what the ruling on that is going to be moving forward in the UFC. But right now we have these two exciting fights, Ilia versus Charles. I'm going to pick Ilia. For now, I'm picking him by knockout. Ilia Topuria by knockout, probably in the second or third round. And Islam versus JDN, probably picking Islam in the first or second round via submission.